Hello everyone, this is Sakura Diesel here, and yes, we are back doing another live stream and such. It's been a while since we've done a live stream. The last time we did it was for Paper Mario and everything. But this time we are doing another live stream, and just like last time, the live streams, these live streams will basically be, 2 hours long and such, which we'll explain a little bit more. And to answer some questions, because I know some of you are wondering, wait, didn't you already do Professor Layton a few years ago and such? So here's what we're going to do in this one. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while since I started this gaming channel. But yeah, if you can't tell, we are going to be redoing the first 3 Professor Layton games, Curious Village, Diabolical Box, and Unwound Future. One of the reasons for that is because that, if you notice that this year I did not do a Professor Layton game this year with Last Spectre or Spectre's Call, whichever region you're from. And that was because the computer I was using would not run the latest Professor Layton game. So we had to get this new computer right here, which we're using to do the live stream on. And I figured, well, since we're not doing a Professor Layton game yet, let's replay the first 3 Professor Layton games, the original trilogy one, and not only that, but offer commentary and such. And another reason why I'm doing this is because I want to try to replay some of these games that I've been playing on the gaming channel for a bit. And one of the reasons is that to basically, replay them and then, see how much better have I gotten from my blind Let's Play to today. Have I gotten a little better? Have I gotten a little, worse and such? Can I beat the game a little bit more faster, too? Also, for anyone that's also in the chat right now, let us know if you guys can hear us nice and clear and such, or we have to turn down something or rise up something.
It is a new streaming setup. It is a new computer. I did tease it a few days ago on my Discord channel. Again, I'm ESM, or, as people know me as Justin. So just come on by and enjoy yourselves when we go and do things like this. We're going to try and make this even better than last time. We're going to have more people, more things planned, and everything will hopefully work this time.
Hopefully, and yeah, I was going to introduce him, but he beat me to it. But yeah, this is Justin. Justin is going to join me on these Professor Layton streams and such, and another one is also going to come in and join me on the stream, that Toy Bonding guy. He'll be here on Discord pretty soon. He's out doing something right now, but he'll be here soon to join us on the Professor Layton games. But yeah, I wanted to do these Professor Layton, I want to do these re-Let's Plays for a little bit because since pretty soon I'm going to come to like new generations of games, aka, games and such that are meant for like both older and newer generations. I thought it would be interesting to replay some of the older generation games and see like, do I still like them when I first play them, whether some stuff that, I missed when I played it the first time and everything, and whether, do I still enjoy the game as I did when I first played it, or do I have a different opinion on some of these games and such. So yeah, it's also going to be interesting to replay them as well, and see, like, what can I expect when I get to, the newer games for the newer generations and everything. So it would be real interesting. Justin will be here a little soon. But yeah, so as you guys know, I have played the Professor Layton games before, so I know, like, what to expect from these games and everything. I know what the plot's going to be. I know, like, what the puzzles are and everything. Although it's been a while since I played some of the puzzles, so some of them I might be a little rusty on. And another thing that we are going to do when we do these live streams and replaying games, we're not doing save states in these games. At least if I make some, like, acceptable exceptions for when I do a save state and such, but for the most part, no save states on these games and such, because I want to play them how they're supposed to be played. If you have it on like an actual hardware or like DS or whatever you're playing these games on and such.
The only time that the only time we will save state is to go back to the episode. The start of the next live stream.
Well, that just depends on the games itself, because with this game it already has the save feature to it, so we don't have to worry about save stating.
I'm stupid.
Yeah. So. But anyway, yeah. And what's a little interesting is that Justin knows a little bit about Professor Layton, but the only Professor Layton game he's played is the crossover with Phoenix Wright. So he doesn't know too much about the original trilogy, and I don't think Toy Bonnie knows that much about Professor Layton either. Although I think the only thing he knows about Professor Layton is with the movie, The Internal Diva. So we're gonna have two people that are gonna be going into these games a little blind, and I'm gonna be the one. It's interesting. I'm gonna be the one that show them, give them facts and trivia about each of the games and such, and each of the puzzles and everything. And I can't wait to see these guys' reactions too to some of the story in this game, because the Professor Layton stories are real interesting. They're mystery stories and everything, and they each have their own unique twist and everything. Admittedly, the twist and the story in this game is pretty simple and such. It's not that, jaw-dropping or eye-catching as the later games would do it. But the story is still pretty solid for a first-time game. I still like the story for what it is. But, alright, I think I probably wasted you guys long enough. So, like I said, these games are going to be going on for at least 2 hours and such. Are going to be going on for at least 2 hours. Or we're gonna keep going until I know that we're actually getting to a point where we're almost at the end of a chapter. Then I'll ask both Toy Bonnie and Justin if they want to keep going, or should we just stop? So anyway, all right. So let's pick up a name for ourselves. And yeah, it looks like you guys are actually gonna see my mouse cursor and everything, but that's all right. It's not that big a deal. Hopefully, it won't be too distracting.
I have it where it doesn't.
No, you can see in its stream.
Oh.
So, anyway. Alrighty, let's see your name. I guess I'll just go for my original Sakura name. Why not?
Okay.
And then in the next two, Layton games, if they have any better names they want to give, they can. All right, let's get started.
The things we saw that day in the village became a secret we would have to keep from everyone for the rest of our lives. Because, you see... I don't understand, Professor. Why are we going to help solve an inheritance dispute?
Luke, my boy, do you really think I would take on such an ordinary request as that? Oh no, this is an altogether unique and exciting situation, and it has piqued my intellectual curiosity. But I suppose it would be best to explain the case before we arrive at our destination. 2 months ago, Baron Augustus Reinhold passed away. Shortly after his death, his will was disclosed. The contents of it were fascinating, to say the least. The Reinhold family treasure, the golden apple, is hidden somewhere within this village. To whomever successfully locates this treasure, I offer the whole of my estate. Naturally, those who attended the reading of the will immediately set out in search of the golden apple. But in the end, everybody came back empty-handed. It turns out that no one had even heard of such a treasure existing, until its mention in the will.
Wow, that's some puzzle, all right.
Quite. Augustus Reinhold staked his entire fortune just to create one more puzzle before his death. What a perplexing individual. I wish I could have met him while he was still alive.
It certainly sounds like you two would have gotten along, Professor. By the way, just what is this golden apple anyhow?
Some speculate it's a rare antique, while others say it could be a gem, yet its identity remains elusive. But Luke, I can't shake the feeling that this matter is linked to some larger mystery, something huge.
Ha! Is that your famous intuition acting up again, Professor?
Well, our first step is getting to town.
This is all so exciting. I hope Saint Mystere is ready for the famous archaeologist and puzzle-solving detective, Herschel Layton.
Oh, Luke, you know as well as I do that I am no detective. Augustus Reinhold's wife, Lady Dahlia, has asked me to investigate the situation. It seems she came across my name by chance when reading an article about me in the papers.
And you immediately decided to take her up on her request, huh?
Oh, well, Luke, a true gentleman never refuses the request of a beautiful lady.
If you say so, Professor.
We should be nearing the town by now. Look at the map in the envelope and help me with directions.
You got it. What in the... What's this?
Lady Dahlia seems to have given us a test. We'll need to decipher this map in order to find the village. She wants to see if we're capable of cracking the mystery surrounding the Reinhold fortune. Care to give it a go, Luke?
I will do my best. A puzzle like this should be a snap for the apprentice of the great Professor Layton.
Very well then, Luke. I'll leave this one to you. Think of it as a warm-up for things to come.
Alrighty, so now we're starting what the Professor Layton series are known for, puzzles. So basically how these puzzles work is that you have different sets of puzzles ranging from something like this where you have the circle and the answer. There's some where it's like multiple choice, there's some where you gotta write them out and everything. And, basically you find puzzles either from the story itself, you find them throughout towns or people that will give you puzzles. And you don't have to solve all the puzzles, but for this one we are going to go for 100%, so we are going to solve every single puzzle in this game and such, except for the bonus ones unless Justin or Toy Bonnie want to do it and such. But in terms of the story, yeah, we are going to solve every single puzzle here. Now the picarettes will basically determine how easy or hard the puzzle will be. Since it's the first puzzle and it's a 10 picarette puzzle, it's fairly easy. So, alright, so it says, my village is on a road that leads to no other towns. I look forward to seeing you there. And yeah, this will basically tell you how to do it, so just circle it with your stylus, or in my case, the mouse, and then just hit submit and such. Now the way we're going to do this is that some of the puzzles I'll solve on my own. Others, like, you know, if Justin or Toy Bonnie want to solve them, it's up to them and everything.
I already solved it.
Yeah, this one's pretty much a no-brainer. The answer is basically this house right here.
And the reason is because it draw a line to it.
Basically, as the puzzle says, my village is on a road that leads to no other town, so these two towns don't work because they're connected. And, this town works because if you go over here, there's no town connecting to it. So basically, that's the reason why, yeah, this one is the correct answer. Now, take a look at Luke right here. If you see Luke smiling, as you just saw right there, that means you got the puzzle correct. However, if you got a puzzle wrong and such, and either Luke or Layton is making a frown face, and that's basically them saying you fucked up. And you gotta do it again. Now, if you mess up on a puzzle and everything, your picarettes will go down a little bit, and it'll keep going down until, you know, it reaches the set number of picarettes where it can't go down anymore. So, it will never reach 0, it will just basically reach to the lowest amount of picarettes you can earn. So, we're going to try, at least for Justin and Toy Bonnie's case, they're going to try to see if they could get every puzzle right on the first go, and such. They can, cool, if not, whatever, like, you know, you guys can basically just watch my walkthrough if you want to see, like, what the correct answer is on the first go. But, yeah. And basically, when you get the right answer, the game will tell you, like, why that answer was right. So, yeah, as Justin and I just stated, this was the only town that was connected to no other towns and such. So, anyway, alright, let's go.
There we go. Now we should be able to make our way to the village.
Right you are. We should see it on the horizon any moment now.
Huh? Professor, do you mean to say you already figured out the town's location?
I'm afraid I couldn't help myself. A basic puzzle like that is easy enough to solve with a glance. Anyhow, you'd best gather your things, Luke. We've arrived.
Anyway. I love this theme. But the Professor Layton theme is one of the best themes out there. So, yeah. And, yeah, as you can tell, one of the things that Professor Layton is known for, they do have voice actors, though, but the game's not fully run on voice acting, so there are going to be moments where we are going to have to read the dialogues. I already have the voices played out in terms of, like, who I want to voice for the main characters. I'm going to be Layton. Toy Bonnie will be Luke, but since Toy Bonnie's not here right now, I'll take over Luke for him for a bit. Justin can either be one of the two characters that we'll see pretty soon in the game. Once we get to it, I'll let him know. But basically, yeah, let's get started. And yeah, each game also has their own set number of cutscenes too throughout the game. Yes, yay! I don't know why you're typing when you're literally right next to me.
Just trying to make everything interesting.
I know. Interesting. It appears that this drawbridge is the entrance to the village. And we're stuck on the outside. What should we do, Professor? Oh, look over there. There's a man standing on the other side of the river. Maybe he can help us. So, yeah. So, basically, the Layton games are basically like a point-and-click adventure game. So, whatever you want to expect something, just click on it and such. So, let's talk to this guy right here. Now, in terms of, like, other characters around here, whoever wants to voice them and such could go ahead and voice them. So, basically, first come, first serve. Good day, sir. We very much like to gain access to the village. Could you please drop the bridge for us? Do I look like the sort to go dropping the bridge for a bunch of fancy-looking outsiders? You got a lot of nerve. We received a letter of invitation from Lady Dahlia. I don't suppose that changes things, does it? From Lady Dahlia? Well then, I sure like to lower the bridge for you, Mr. Fancy Pants. But the engine is busted, and I can only move this plastic bridge with the hand crank. There's all these infernal slots I could put the crank in, but I got no clue which one to use. So, smart guy, you got any idea which one is the right one? So basically, you suck at your job. Anyway, so yeah. Some of these I'll try to give in a nutshell version if I can, but yeah, basically one of these three slots will be the ones to fit this little crank right here. So which of these is it? 1, 2, or 3? And it said you can also tap the crank to change the viewing angle.
Tap the crank.
This is what it looks like right here. So you can see one of the squares is on the side of this pentagon. This little pointer is also on the side of the pentagon. And
this is number 1.
Number 1? Alrighty.
There we go. Every puzzle has an answer.
What? I can't see. Oh. Okay.
Now drop that bridge.
Yes, let's drop it. That'll do it. Hold on a sec, I'll lower it down. Well, I'm gonna say it again. I just don't feel right about letting outsiders into St. Mystere. But if you're Lady Dahlia's guess, I guess I better. At least give her my regards, you hear? Yes, we finally arrived in St. Mystere. I'm so excited. I wonder what mysteries awaits us here. Well, Luke, we'll find out soon enough. Just be careful not to let your excitement cloud your ability to analyze your surroundings. I say, Luke, this is a perfect time to explain how to move during our investigation. Give that shoe-shaped icon on the lower right portion of the touch screen and tap it with your stylus. After you do this, a set of arrows will appear on screen. Tap one to head in that direction. Professor, what are you going on about? So remember, when you want to move, just tap the shoe. Go on, give it a try.
Okay, I'm tapping my shoe.
Well, if only that was simple in real life. We'll do that in a bit, but first we got some people to talk to, so let's talk to this guy, because he has something important to tell us. Wants to be sketching.
What a dandy set of fellows you two are. Must be new to Saint Mystere, eh? The name's Sketchifarin.
I think it's Stash and Scarfin. Or Stash and Scarfin.
And I've got some advice for ya. Go tap the barrel back there with your stylus. Don't ask questions. Just do it.
So, yeah. So, if you tap here, the hint coin. And I'll let him explain the hint coin.
Felt good, didn't it? Around these parts, that's what we call a hint coin. When you find yourself up against a doozy of a puzzle, you want a hint. Trust me on this one, fellas.
I like how you're making him sound like Western.
And it's just those times when you just want to use a hint coin to purchase a hint. I bet you think puzzles would be breeze now, eh? Think again. There are a limited number of hint coins in this world. So why don't you go wasting coins on any old riddle? Because if you do, when you come across a real stumper, you'll be sorry. Real sorry. Mind you, hint coins won't always be stuffed inside barrels. Check any object that seems suspicious. Got all 8? Good. Be seeing you around, suckers.
Yes. So, yes, as Stash and Scarver just explained, another thing that the Layton games are known for are hint coins. So basically, once you enter new buildings and such, you'll have a chance to find hint coins. Usually, the max amount I've seen them give hint coins are usually 3. Sometimes they'll give you 4, sometimes 2, and sometimes even just a rare occasion where they'll give you just 1. For right now, for most of the chapter, it will be just 3. So I know where some of them are for the most part. But if it gets to a point where, we can't, I don't remember where a hint coin is, and Justin has his laptop over there to let me know where a hint coin has been found and such. So I know there's one here, and there's one in the trash can, or at least in the barrel. Alright. Now, just like with the Picarats, we're going to try not to waste too much of the hint coins if we can, but if Justin wants a hint, then he can use the hint if he wants.
Okay, let me fix this real quick. Let's try.
Hold on, folks. Technical difficulties. What are you trying to do?
It's not loading.
No, it's loading.
No, it's not. Look. Oh, I remember set this stuff.
Nah, that's okay. We don't really need to see the chat if we don't really want to see the chat. I mean, I can still see the chat just fine, and I can, watch it. So if anything, like, if we want to replace the chat with the, picture of Layton, we can.
There, the curse is off.
Okay. Yeah, it's there. Again. Yeah, just gotta wait for it, is all.
There we go.
I wonder if that inn gets many guests out here in the country. I didn't even touch that.
I did.
Anyway, alrighty, so yeah. I'll be Ingrid. Oh, hello! Pleasant to meet you. Welcome to Saint Mystere, where our local export is the puzzle. Oh, before I forget, you should know that every time you solve a puzzle, you earn a set number of picarats. The more picarats a puzzle is worth, the tougher the puzzle will be.
Wait, pick a rat. Does that mean we're catching rats?
I mean, we're picking a rat, so maybe. They say lovely things happen when you gather enough picarats. Imagine that, a reward for solving puzzles. For practice, try this little riddle that your hat reminded me of. Think good and hard before you answer. Alright. Strange hats. These 4 top hats are all the same height, but the length of each brim is different. In other words, the hats are equally tall, but vary in width. So, out of these 4 hats, one of these 4 hats has a brim and height that are the same length. Which hat is it? Alright, so this one is a little bit of a toughy one. But basically, you basically have to have a good eye for this. And basically, so the brim they're talking about is this bottom part of the hat right here. So basically, compare the length and how tall the hat is, compared to the width of the brim, and basically you'll find your answer. In which the answer to this one is A.
That should do it. Critical thinking is the key to success.
Right. So yeah, this is a very famous optical illusion. And yeah, that's said. They gave you the answer, so... And like, you know, on why A is the one with the same length with the brim and the tallest as well. Ooh, bravo! I think you've got the hang of this, but if you try your options one by one, you'll eventually find the answer. However, you'll also encounter lots of puzzles that can't be solved by simply trying all the answers. If you answer incorrectly, the picaresque you earn from a puzzle decrease. Tough stuff, It goes to show you how important it is to think for yourself and find the answer on your own. Well then, best of luck to you. I'll be rooting for you two. Alright. I've been thinking, Professor. Shouldn't we be keeping a record of our investigation?
You brought up a very good point, Luke. Let me explain how to go about saving your game. First, tap your stylus on the trunk in the upper right corner of the touchscreen. This trunk contains all manners of information that you can access by tapping the icons.
So, alright, I'll give it a nutshell version. Save feature is what it says. You can save the game at any time. The journal will just basically tell you, like, you know, what's going on with the story so far. Puzzle index will let you know what kind of puzzles you've encountered in the game. If you tap on it and such, they'll give you a little bit of a checklist of what puzzles you have solved and such. There are puzzles that you solve blank that doesn't have a checkpoint, and all you need to do is retry the puzzle from the place that you found it in the first place. However, there is another way what you could do if a puzzle suddenly disappears from that place, which we'll explain later, probably before the end of the stream.
Don't be afraid to use the items in the trunk to help our investigation. It will be second nature soon enough. Enough explanation for now. Let's make our way to Reinhold Manor. An arrow marks our path on the map, so all we need to do is head in the correct direction.
Lead the way, Professor. Alrighty, Chapter 1, Reinhold Manor awaits. Alright, so let's save. We'll be playing for about 21 minutes. Alright, there was one feature I forgot to mention here. And these are the three things you see over here. We'll explain what these are in a bit once we get to them. But another thing you have here is mysteries. So throughout the Professor Layton game, you will get mysteries and such that will be basically kept throughout the main story until you solve it during the story itself. So one of the new mysteries we got is the Golden Apple. The late Baron Reinhold hid this item in Saint Mystere just before dying, and has promised the whole of his fortune to the one who finds it. No one has any clue what the Golden Apple might be or where it is hidden. Now the journals, if you've seen my walkthrough on the Professor Layton game, I have clicked on all the journal entries. I'm not going to do that here because I was thinking about clicking on them and then reading it, but then I thought if I did that, we'll be here all day and you guys probably wouldn't like it, so I'm just going to ignore the journal throughout the game.